to the authority of the church or be lost forever, that threat evaporates. If every soul is ultimately heading home to God, if, as Origen taught, everything will in the end be restored, then there is no ultimate leverage of fear, no eternal punishment to hold over people's heads, no reason to stay bound to an institution that presents itself as the only gatekeeper to salvation. And institutions built on power cannot survive without leverage. So the teaching was removed, not because it was false, but because it was dangerous to the institution. Jerome, had he included what he knew about reincarnation, the teachings found in Origen's writings, the passages in the apocryphal Gospels, the last 1700 years of Western civilization might have looked entirely different. Humanity might have actualized a completely different set of ethical and moral values in daily life, because the knowledge of reincarnation, when truly understood, does not make people careless or irresponsible. Quite the opposite. The law of sowing and reaping, the understanding that every action has consequences that ripple forward through time and across lifetimes, this creates a profound sense of responsibility, not fear-based responsibility, love-based responsibility. What reincarnation actually means, the soul's journey. Now let us turn to the actual teaching. What is reincarnation? What does it mean for the soul? And why, despite everything the institutional church has said, does it make profound spiritual sense? The soul's origin. We were spirit beings. The story begins before this world, before these bodies, before any of this. In the beginning, before the material universe as we know it, there existed pure spirit beings, children of God, light beings dwelling in the eternal kingdom of God, in perfect unity, in love, in boundless freedom. And then something happened. Some of these spirit beings turned away from God. This is what spiritual teaching refers to as the fall, the great turning away from the divine source. These beings wanted to be like God, to be omnipresent, to be absolute, to be the ultimate authority over their own existence. But there is only one God, one absolute, one source from which all things flow. And to rebel against that source, to turn away from it, is not possible without consequences. The beings who turned away did not disappear, but they began to fall, to condense, to densify, to move further and further from the light. From purely spiritual existence, they moved through finer and then denser states of matter, until eventually, over vast spans of time, they took on the form we know today. Human beings, living in coarse physical bodies, on a material earth. The human being in this understanding is a many-layered garment of the soul. The physical body is the outermost layer, the densest, the most material. Within it dwells the soul, and within the soul, deeper still, dwells something even more fundamental, the divine being, a spark of the original light, the eternal heritage that God placed within each one of his children. No matter how deep the fall, that spark remains, the law of cause and effect, why we return. Now we come to one of the most fundamental principles in all of spiritual teaching, the law of cause and effect. You have heard it in many forms. As you sow, shall you reap. What goes around comes around, karma. But let us think about it at a deeper level. Every thought we think carries energy. Every word we speak goes out into the world and creates effects. Every action we take, every kindness, every act of cruelty, every moment of love or selfishness, these are not neutral. They create ripples, they set things in motion. And the law of cause and effect, which is as real and as consistent as the law of gravity, ensures that eventually, those ripples return to their source. A person who causes suffering will encounter suffering, not as punishment from an angry God, but as the natural consequence of the energies they have set in motion. A person who gives love, who acts with integrity, who seeks to serve others, they are setting different energies in motion, and those energies will also return. Now here is the crucial question. What happens when a single lifetime is not enough to balance the scales? If a soul has spent decades causing harm, or alternatively, if a soul has only begun to understand the depth of love it is capable of, and then the body dies, does everything simply stop? Is all of that energy, all of those unresolved causes and effects simply erased? The teaching of reincarnation says, no. The soul continues. It carries with it, not in a physical sense, but in a spiritual, energetic sense, the imprints of everything it has thought, felt, said, and done. These imprints are sometimes called the garments of the soul, layers of energy that envelop the soul and shape its experience, both in the realms between lives and in any future incarnations. And if there are things to be resolved, debts to be settled, love to be given, growth to be achieved, Then the soul may return to earth in a new body, in a new lifetime, with new opportunities. What happens when the body dies? When the physical body dies, the soul does not simply vanish. We merely change our state. The soul continues to live, with all of its characteristics, its loves, its unresolved conflicts, its yearnings, exactly as it was at the moment of death. There are realms beyond this physical world, what spiritual teachings call the planes of the beyond, where the soul continues its journey. These include what might be called purification planes, realms where the soul can work through its burdens with the help of more advanced beings, teachers, and guides. In these realms, the soul experiences in a very direct way the effects of its own actions, not as an external punishment handed down by God, but as a natural unfolding of the energies it created. The soul sees and feels, in vivid, direct pictures, how its choices affected others, how it may have harmed them, misled them, manipulated them, or loved them. This experience is not designed to crush the soul. It is designed to awaken it, to catalyze genuine remorse, not the fearful, surface-level guilt that comes from being caught, but the deep, transformative recognition of, I understand now what I did, and I would do differently. And once that recognition is real, once the soul has truly grown, it can move on to higher planes, or it may choose to return to Earth to resolve remaining imbalances more quickly. The choice to reincarnate and the freedom behind it. Here is something important to understand. Reincarnation is not forced upon anyone. God did not design reincarnation as a prison sentence. He designed it as a gift of grace, an opportunity offered out of love for a soul to return and continue its journey toward the light. The soul that is heavily burdened, weighed down with the effects of many lifetimes of choices that moved against love, will feel a natural pull toward the earth. The density of its condition